clapping.
Yes.
We're not clapping.
We
So
clapped last episode.
So
No,
there's
2.
there's Neil sort of casting aspersions on my character in the social game that Dom runs. My character he's not evil, but he's definitely not a good character.
Yes, yeah. Johann Horace Hornswoggle is
Yo-ho to his friends.
it's a shame. It's just a shame he doesn't have any. Because he's so fucking weird.
He makes friends all the time. He makes them from the bodies of the slain. He might be a bit of a necromancer, but that's fine.
That's putting it very, very mildly. So, obviously, last time out in 20-side land, we had something quite big happen from a certain character. We were just discussing off there about sort of our social game, which I'll be running for Stu once we're done with our recording today. Yeah. And yeah, I got to thinking about what just happened in the last episode, and I've realised that Otto is Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
He's the same height and everything.
Some of you may die. That's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. Welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20-Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I'm your GM for this game and many others. And I'm joined by Stu.
Hi.
I'm joined by Neil.
Hello.
I'm joined by Darren.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Amy.
Hello.
Welcome back, everybody. How are we all doing?
Good.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, well, like we said at the end of the last game, running away is always an option.
Is it the right option, though?
Well, the best thing you can do is the best decision. The next best thing you can do is a bad decision, and the worst thing you can do is no decision. So, I didn't do the worst thing.
It could have been both of you, and that would have been terrible.
Yeah,
my priority was to alert my comrades. I'm sorry that I miss Clovis desperately. He fought bravely.
You're almost sincere.
I did all I could to save him.
Oh dear.
And you don't know any different.
That's it. The worst thing about all of what just happened is that the party have no way of knowing if he's being legit or not.
No, I believe you, Otto. I've got no reason to doubt you.
Why would you doubt me?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Alwyn knows Otto a little bit better. So maybe Alwyn does have cause.
What, you doubt my my heroic deeds and my daring do and gallantry?
So, on the subject of Otto being Lord Farquaad, let's just go around the table quickly and ask if your character were like an analogue or a metaphor for a popular character in pop culture, who do you think they would be a metaphor for, or represented by? I think that's a better term.
I kind of, not really, because I'm not good at it. But my immediate thought was the guy that's in Princess Bride that wants to go find the guy that killed his father with the extra
Inigo
finger.
Montoya.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Hello, my name is Dela Thornbury. You have some gold. Prepare to die.
Yeah, probably
Which is, there's a polite introduction that you're setting the context. You're managing expectations for the meeting.
That's it.
Yes,
that's it. That's exactly it. Darren, who do you reckon Amos would be? Obviously, between you, we know that he was based on Amos from the Expanse when we very first built him. But if there was another character that you feel represents him, who do you think it would be?
I honestly don't know. I actually can't think of a single character ever right now with all this
Maybe
pressure
the Punisher? Frank Castle?
Maybe. Maybe a little bit, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
That works.
Give it some thought. We can continue that discussion next time out. Stu, what about Alwyn?
It's a really, really tough question. But the one that pops into my head is, and I'm not overly familiar with the character, so it's just like from what little I know, but from the DC universe, Mr. Plastic. Is it Mr. Plastic?
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was a character called Plastic Man.
He was one of my favourites. I mean, you know how every superhero has a secret identity? Well, in normal life, he's actually a criminal. And then he becomes Plastic Man to fight. He's a small-time criminal.
He's
fair enough.
But he's almost the comic relief in a lot of ways, isn't he? He's not the bravest or the smartest
but he's pretty
like
cool.
That.
He's pretty cool.
He ends up doing some cool stuff, but a lot of it unwittingly, I think. And a lot
Where
of it
does
in
the
silly
plastic
ways.
bit come from?
Because he's able to... His body's basically made of plastic and he's able to shape it into whatever he wants.
So it's like Mr. Fantastic.
Kind of, yes. He's the DC-verse version of it. And the Flash series had him in it, but they didn't call him
Plastic Man. Plastic Man he deserves his own series or movie, I think. He's one of the best.
Okay.
More deserving of it than the Green Lantern. I never got the Green Lantern.
Oh, they did have some good story arcs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Blackest Night. That was good.
As somebody who knows very little about actual comics, I will take your word for it. Like I know of Green Lantern. I know he has a. Is it Green Lantern that has the magic ring?
Yeah. I
Not
think
a
I've got it.
euphemism.
I can lend it to you if you want.
You can lend me the Green Lantern ring. That's amazing.
Oh no, I think I've got the book still.
Fair enough.
You can have.
Yeah.
Blackest Night in Darkest. I've got the Green Lantern and Star Trek crossover comic books.
wow.
Unsurprisingly.
I've got a legit question here, Stu. Obviously, you are to put it mildly, you are. I would verge on saying a super fan of Star Trek. Fair to say?
The Trekkie, yes.
So I've got a serious question, just kind of based on what you've just said about you've got the Green Lantern crossover books. Like, do you buy Star Trek stuff just because it has a Star Trek name on it, or do you actually look for stuff that is good and you want to experience?
I'm a collector, and I'm a completionist with my collection stuff. And that was one of a series of books that was re-released as Star Trek comic books.
Okay.
So, because I had some of those Star Trek comic books, I had to have all of the Star Trek.
Fair enough.
But to be fair, the Green Lantern crossover was pretty good.
Okay, fair enough.
As was the Transformers Star Trek crossover, but that's going to topic a little bit.
Wow, that's quite the crossover.
Well, I'm
What's
also
the
a
weirdest
Transformers collector. Possibly Terminator and Transformers. Oh no, actually, Ghostbusters and Transformers.
Oh.
Although
Does
the
the
Back
car
to the
turn-
Future and Transformers was quite good. Yes, yes, it does.
Yeah.
And they turn in the Back to the Future Transformers crossover. They turn the DeLorean into a Transformer as well.
Really, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
It is. It is.
I like that.
It's called Out of Time.
Out of time.
I'd have
That's
called
it.
him Gigafuck.
What was he? No. It was Giga something. It was Giga. Yeah, Gigawatt. Yeah,
Gigawatt.
No, I'm getting it wrong. Yeah, Gigawatt. Gigawatt.
What the hell is a gigawatt? Gigawatt. Whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who are out of time, Clovis Cotton.
Too soon. Too soon.
Poor Clovis. I did all I could for him.
We haven't heard what fictional character Otto might be.
Well, we did mention Lord Farquhar. No.
Oh yes, we started with that. Is that what?
Yes.
What would you
Neil
pick,
thinks?
though?
I can't think of anything better at the moment. I'm wondering what attributes to go with. I mean, his short stature, or his courage, or his honour. Perhaps
So many traits to pick from, isn't there?
yeah. Robin Hood, I'm thinking maybe.
There we go. Yeah. So, your little group, your menagerie of NPCs is down a member. How's everybody feeling after that?
Sad. And still ill. Like hot and cold at the same time. It's not nice.
It's not nice at all. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's difficult because we weren't there. We didn't see.
Yeah,
That's
this is, and that's what is going to be difficult for you guys as players, because obviously, yeah, as I said earlier, you weren't there. You've got no idea. You've got literally no idea what happened. So you've got to take Otto on fully on face value.
Yeah, and I do.
You do. Excellent. Glad to hear it.
I think the lesson we've all learned is not to split the group.
I said immediately splitting the group again.
There are times for it, I think.
There definitely are times for it.
Well, we thought that was the time for it, and it turned out it was really not the time for it.
I mean, you split the group further.
Well, you've got you've now had a first-hand taste of just how dangerous the Undercity is. So perhaps that will inform everyone's decision making going forward, and how you find your way out of here.
Yes, I do have some more intelligence that the Undercity seems to be under attack. That the patrol that attacked us, they seem to be on their way to defend against something else.
I would just like to make a small retcon, just in case it changes your perspective at all. When you got back to Clovis and you found his body there were 3 sets of armor around him, sort of the same armor and shield worn by these skeletons. The 3 sets of armor were completely empty. They were empty. There was nothing inside them. There was no trace of bone. There was no scrap of flesh. There was nothing there. Just the armor laying motionless on the ground. So take from that what you will.
I'll take 3 sets of armor. But I'm not there.
I think we are up against a force of undead creatures.
Being.
Yeah,
well, we can make them undead, can't we?
We
can make them re-dead.
Make them alive so that we can kill them again.
The revenge of the dead.
That's going to be the story arc, isn't it? That Otto becomes a necromancer just so he can revive people once they die, so he can kill them again.
Yes.
Oh, so we can revive Clovis and find out what happened. That sounds like a good idea.
All right. Okay. Well, in that case, then, as it sounds like we are ready. Words, teeth in. We are ready to jump back in. Yeah, we come back in just as certainly from Alwyn and Dela's perspective, as Otto, Amos, and the rest of the group have been gone for a short while. I think I worked out in total it's been 5 hours sort of since this whole thing started. After they leave, they're gone for a couple of hours, and just as we start this episode, the door to your little sort of makeshift base or outpost creaks open, and the two of you see entering Otto, Amos, along with Christian and Maori, but conspicuous by his absence is Clovis Cotton. And I turn it over to you guys. What do you wish to do?
Brother Amos will go to Dela, hand her his rapier, put a hand on her shoulder, and just give her a look that says, "Nah, didn't make it."
Oh, that is not good. Can I inspect this rapier a little closer, though?
You can. It is quite well made, quite well balanced. As you spend a bit of time with it, sort of figuring it out, this is a +1 rapier.
Lovely.
So, where is Clovis?
We left him where he fell. We couldn't carry him.
He's only a halfling.
Even so, it's a long way.
We could have, given him last rites and don't know what religion he was actually, but or maybe even taken back to the Knights of Summer's Return. If they've got resources, they might have been able to bring him back.
I mean, we can go back and get him if you want.
Well, I think we're going that way anyway when we're ready, aren't we?
Are we? Are you certain that's the way out, then? Did you see the way out?
No, we didn't get that far. We were attacked by an enemy army.
So how are you sure that that's the way out?
Well, which other way is there? Not back the way we came.
2, there's left and right.
Well, if we go left, I think we will go to where those skeletal warriors were heading to. If we go right, I think we will get to where they were coming from. The scent we happened to meet them as they were on their way from one to the other.
So if it helps your mind's eye, you know that the city of Whitethrone is kind of a loose heptagon in shape. The city kind of has sort of roughly 7 sides to it. One of them obviously is the cliff edge that overlooks the glacier lake, where the palace is and all that sort of stuff. You know that the bone grinder, the windmill, was on. It was situated just outside the north gate. So if you imagine a heptagon kind of tipped up on its side, 7 sides, the bone grinder is kind of near the tip of the top. You assume you probably entered somewhere in that region, but you also know, based on conversations you've had with Christian, with other NPCs, you know that the Undercity stretches basically underneath the entirety of Whitethrone. It is in theory possible for you to get anywhere in the city by traversing these tunnels if you know where to go.
So we could probably try and work out the best place for us to come up in, which is wherever our friends are. I can't remember where that was.
Well, the first question I'm going to ask is, does anyone have a compass? I don't.
I don't think I do.
Would I have one in a climbing kit?
You would not, I'm afraid.
No compass.
Is the mould on... Is there like lichen or mould only growing on one side of buildings? Like, can we do it that way?
Does that work underground? Yeah. Out of sunlight?
Don't know. Try.
Where is the source of light coming from if we're underground?
You can see kind of as you glance around, kind of suspended in these large metal cages, and you guess that they must have been added after Whitethrone was placed on top of whatever city this used to be. But you can see these sort of large. They look to be giant blue crystals, and they give off this faint, eerie, very ghostly glow that permeates throughout most of the cavern.
Definitely something to think of, think about. Anyway, Dela, I want you to try and drink this. I'm going to also, whilst healing or trying to help Dela through her illness, I'm also going to give Dela an anti-plague. Moderate anti-plague.
Okay. In that case, as you try and sort of give this to Dela, it's this substance that Alwyn is trying to give you. It smells foul. It smells disgusting. You, as much as you know that this is probably going to help you, you are really struggling to even contemplate getting this down you. If you want to try and force yourself, I would say you can make a fortitude save. If you fail it, there is you will probably waste that medicine.
Oh. I'm not feeling very fortuitous.
I know, but we really need to get you back.
Okay, I'll try. Oh. 19.
19, I would say, is enough. You are able to force this liquid down your throat, Dela, and you sit there sort of dry heaving for a good couple of minutes as you're like, as this threatens to come back up. But with time and with a bit of encouragement from Alwyn, and obviously just your own resilience and fortitude, you're able to. Your stomach eventually settles, and you feel that liquid begin to work its way through you.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. That felt really weird as I was saying it. I can only apologise. But you get that. What's the bonus on a moderate stew?
+3 on top of the +2 that from Alwyn treating.
Oh, does someone want to crack a window?
So that's a total of +5.
Total
when
of +5.
When we come to it.
They are different bonuses, right? Like, I guess treat disease as a circumstance.
Let me double check. Anti-plague.
Anti-plague will be item.
Yeah, is item. Sorry.
Circumstance, yeah.
Yes, circumstance.
So they do stack. So yeah, so Dela, when you eventually get round to doing your next fortitude save, you will have +5 to it. Actually, just thinking about it, what's your fortitude modifier?
10.
10, okay. So you get a total of +15. Okay, you can still fail it even with that. So I won't need you to. I will still need you to roll. Sadly.
Yeah.
No,
we need you to roll cheerily.
There we go. All right. So what do you guys want to do? So Dela has managed to take this medicine. You don't know exactly when it's going to kick in, but it's there.
So we'll sit here for a bit and remember Clovis.
I mean, we've still got a couple of hours of kind of care for Dela left, haven't we?
I think unless there's anything you guys are doing urgently in that time, we can kind of skip to the end of that, so that's done and out of the way.
Okay. How badly hurt is Otto still? How badly hurt?
I am 47 out of 64.
I do have ward medic, so can I do a treat wounds on Otto whilst I'm caring for Dela?
Technically, no, but like the time doesn't matter so much here because you're staying put for a bit. So, by all means, roll that medicine check.
Okay, I'll do it at DC 20, which is a total of 32.
Wow,
so that's a critical
success.
So you gain 48 plus 10. So here we go. I'll roll that. 2, 3, 4. You get back a total of 25 points, Otto.
Well, I'm restored to my full health.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so just as you guys get to the end of your period of medicine where you've managed to administer to Dela, you've got her to drink her anti-plague, and you're just finishing to stitch up your stitch up Otto's injuries, Alwyn. Who would like to roll me a d10?
I don't like the responsibility of that.
I'll roll a d10. It's the least I can do.
I mean, the last time you did, it got an NPC killed, so what's the worst going to happen?
Yeah. 3.
3, okay. You continue your treating your injuries. As you're just as you're finishing up, you hear the sound of a small amount of rubble sort of clattering to the ground outside.
To the north or to the south?
It came kind of from just outside, literally just outside the door of where you're all holed up.
Get the shield and rapier out.
What do you guys do?
Stay quiet and listen, I think.
Yeah.
Prepare. Are we in like a good formation? Is there lots of space in here?
It's a reasonable amount of space. It's quite cramped where everything's collapsed, but you can move around for sure.
I'm going to sneak forward to see if I can look through a crack in a window or something as stealthily and quietly as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll the stealth check.
29.
All right. Okay.
I am pretty stealthy.
That's
as you
disappeared.
Where's he gone? Where's he gone?
It's Clovis all over again.
I am the wind.
So yeah, Alwyn, you creep towards one of these windows and you risk a glance outside, and you see where this rubble has kind of collapsed. It's collapsed from a building on the other side of the street. It seems to have fallen down from what was once a balcony or something. And you glance up, and you see, for just a moment, you see a large black shape, hulking figure of something, with sort of long, almost bat-like ears curling back from its head, and there is this sickly yellow glow from coming from its eyes, and it's looking in your direction, Alwyn. And as, again, exactly the same as Amos in the night, you see this creature, and you tighten your grip on your rapier, and you blink, and it's gone.
Anything we should worry about?
I think
Alwyn?
as soon as Dela is better, we get the fuck out of it. I saw that thing that you described, Amos.
You saw it.
It scared the shit out of me, but it disappeared.
It's on a large side, isn't it?
Yes. Looks nasty. It seemed to be looking straight at me, but I don't know if it actually saw me or not.
Let's not wait around to find out.
This is a hellish place.
Yes, I agree. Soon as Dela's better, yes. Yes. Come on, Dela, help her out and get better.
Okay, so what's your plan? Are you obviously your 8 hours treating Dela's disease have now finished? Do you guys want to start moving from this position, or is the plan to stay here for a bit and try and get Dela better?
I still think until Dela's up to full fighting strength, I think we should, because like I said, we've got somewhere we can sort of barricade and fortify and defend.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really do anything at the moment.
And this, if that's twice that we know of that this thing's appeared, I mean, how many more times has it appeared and we've been totally unaware of? We don't know. It's not attacked us yet.
And that's not what you thought, Otto?
No. What I thought was human in shape. It's like human skeletons. And also what I saw was giant cockroaches or prawns the size of dogs, but not like a large black form.
Well, I mean, if we want to stay, I'm happy to sit down and not do anything for a few more hours.
Did you say that these soldiers were saying things?
Yes.
What were they saying?
Well, we couldn't make out much because we were some distance away, but they seemed to be on their way. They were shouting commands. They had to get somewhere to defend. I think it was the eastern wall. They said from something. I don't know what. So they have their own fish to fry, perhaps down here, but not enough that they weren't distracted by us. But perhaps they mistook us for emissaries of the enemy they're fighting.
They didn't say who the enemy was or anything. No.
No, we just said that we need to fortify the eastern wall. It's under attack from something.
Dom, can I take a knowledge roll? See, I've got this I'm forming this sort of half-baked idea in my head that maybe they're reliving something.
Okay.
Is there any kind of knowledge roll I can take about undead to see if that's what they do, or?
Yes, is the short answer. Let me just check something.
Would that be a religion?
I thought the
Occult.
Occult, I would say occult, yes.
Who you calling a cult?
Let's try and find some. Yeah, do you know what? You can take a religion roll.
Yay! Oh, 29.
29, okay.
I bow to your greater knowledge.
Yeah, so listening to Otto speak, Alwyn, and having this kind of niggling feeling in the back of your head, you're not sure why, but you find yourself thinking back to the ruined temple of Desna that you cleansed all the way back in Ulsgaard with Maximus Laurentius, if you remember that.
I do remember that.
Good old Maximus.
And yeah, the creature, you remember that the spectral creatures that you fought, or the undead creatures that you fought within the temple itself, yeah, they seemed to be stuck in some kind of loop, particularly the children who you were attempting to protect, the ghostly children. And as you're thinking about that, you think that yes, there is a phenomenon in the world known as a haunt, in which the spirits of creatures who have died in particularly horrific ways, or amid big climactic events, or through the interference of powerful magic, you know that sometimes they can linger as a phenomenon called a haunt, where these individuals, as you suspect, they appear to be corporeal, they appear to be going about their lives as they were before they died. However, they are, in a sense, reliving or repeating what happened to them.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to share that as a theory around the group. Yes, maybe they're just part of it. I know you said that we've got an enemy coming, Otto, but maybe that enemy is long gone. Maybe they're just sort of going through the motions
until they actually see someone that they don't recognise, and then
they're reacting as if
they react.
Yes.
And that hypothesis tracks with your experiences at Ulsgaard. The spirits, the manifestations, they didn't attack you until you caused them to deviate from their routine.
But there are also the dog-sized cockroaches, and there is also that black thing out there, that large thing that's heavy enough to make part of a building collapse. I wonder if it can fly.
Well, we only heard a bit of rabble for. We can all make a bit of rabble. I mean, it looked large, but not like huge. Not sort of dragon-sized, I don't think.
I suppose yes. The building didn't collapse underneath it, so it just knocked off a few loose stones.
Yes, that's what I think. Right. Well, I think we'd best rest up. And I hate to say this, Dela, but no matter what state you're in tomorrow, I think we should press on.
Yeah, I agree.
For fear that you end up in a worse state.
Well, unfortunately, it's either going to be worse or better.
I think we're safe for now, but we might not want to push it for too long.
No, I agree. What do you think, Amos?
Get everybody as fighting fit as we can.
All right. So, if you're going to rest, if you're going to rest for the rest of the day, make some dice rolls quickly. Okay. Cool. So you spend the rest of your day, or what you assume to be the day. What feels like the day, because it's impossible to tell where you're in the darkness and where you've been, obviously unconscious in the bone grinder, then sort of fighting your way out of there. You've got no idea what time it actually is. You're going purely based on a feeling on when you need to sleep and that kind of thing. A few more hours pass. You are not disturbed again by the bat-eared, yellow-eyed creature, or by any other. And just as you're kind of setting yourselves up to have a quiet meal before you all turn into bed, Dela, I need a fortitude save, please.
I'll start.
+5.
Do I get -2 to this roll because I am sickened?
Technically, yes. It's only -1 though, because you're sickened 1. I think.
-1. Oh, okay. -1. So +5 -1, so +4. 10, 14, 16, 26.
26, okay. And Dela, you're sat there by this little campfire you've made. You've been given, I assume, like a bowl of soup or something, by whoever's cooked the meal for you. And you sit there, you hold this meal in your hands, and your vision goes blurry. You start sweating. You are feeling really, really, really rough. And everybody else will notice this, that as Dela is preparing to have this small meal, you see she withdraws into herself, her eyes closed. She's still awake, you can see that. She doesn't seem to be feeling very well at all. She doesn't respond when you try to talk to her. But after a few minutes, Dela, your vision clears. That feeling passes. You feel an intense moment of fever, in which you almost start hyperventilating as you do so, and then that breaks after a few minutes, and you start to feel over the course of the rest of the evening, you begin to feel much better.
What do you put in that soup?
You've succeeded on that fortitude save.
Hang on, right, so I've spent 8 hours bloody treating you and making you feel better. I've given you an anti-plague potion. Oh, but let's give credit to the soup.
No, it made me feel really awful. I couldn't see.
How about a nice slice of Clovis to mop up that soup?
Oh, too soon.
He is sliced bread now.
Oh no.
Well, we're alive. We should probably set watches, though, if we're having a sleep here.
Yes, I agree.
So do I need to do a medicine check to see if Dela's kind of fully better or only a bit better?
You can make a medicine check.
26.
26. In your experience of dealing with disease, particularly with filth fever, and from your experience sort of treating Arbusto Ramirez all the way back in Heldron, you know that Dela is seemingly over the worst of it. You can see she still has sort of mild symptoms of the disease. you get the sense she's probably still carrying it in her system, but there's a good chance that she will fight it off by the time morning rolls around.
Yes, I think you're going to be. Just need a good night's rest. Maybe you don't get involved in the watches. Just rest up.
Okay. Well, I'll go to bed now then.
Yes, good idea.
All right. Just to save time in a second, Amy, could I have another fortitude save, please?
Of course. Do I still get the bonuses I had before?
I think it's only against the next check.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the next saving throw. Oh, actually, with the anti-plague I think just persists for a period of time.
Okay.
So you get the +3 from that.
Right. So that is 20.
Oh, and sickened is gone, so there's no penalty.
Okay, so 23.
Yeah, perfect, absolutely fine. When Dela wakes up in the morning, she feels fully refreshed, as if she'd never been ill.
Yay!
Fit as a fiddle.
But before we get to that point, what's everyone doing? You said you're taking watches, is that correct?
I'll take first watch.
I'll take second watch.
I'll take third then, with Chardonnay.
Okay. Maori and Christian sort of say, we can take a watch as well if you need, just so we're not all up quite so much.
Yes, that will be a big help.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Third and fourth watches.
That sounds good. It sounds good to me. So, who is taking first watch? Amos.
Yes.
Perfect. So as the rest of you settle down for sleep, Amos, roll a d10 for me.
4.
A 4. Okay. Okay. So you, as you're taking your watch, Amos, you're sort of nestled quietly in the window. I'm assuming you guys aren't burning any torches or anything like that.
I'm not.
No.
Definitely not.
Keeping them down though.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly enough light permeating the cavern that you can just kind of make out shapes. You can see a little bit here and there. So, but yeah. So as you're resting, Amos, everybody else has just gone to bed, and you hear a commotion coming from the far end of the street in which you're holed up, and you sort of glance outside, and you can see a group of what appears to be at least 10 small squat creatures with sort of oval-shaped heads and sort of long ears. This appears to be a pack of goblins, and you can see they're being quite boisterous as they're kind of bouncing off each other. And you can see that they, although there are 10 of them, the majority of this group, sort of 6 of them, are dragging behind them what looks like the slaughtered corpses of perhaps wolves or feral dogs or something.
Okay. I'm just going to keep watching them.
Yeah, make a stealth check for me. Make a stealth check for me.
Okay. Uh, 28.
28, okay. As you sit there in the window, Amos, you watch these goblins, and they are clearly squabbling amongst themselves. They're jabbering away in Goblin, which I'm assuming you don't speak?
I don't think so. What my language is? No, just Common and Draconic.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you hear them jabbering away in a language that you assume to be Goblin. You don't understand it either way. But you watch as this group of 10 individuals sort of gets past. They kind of approach the outside of the building. They're not paying attention to their surroundings at all. You get the sense they haven't seen you, not even passingly for a second. And yeah, as they get closer, they are quite clearly dragging 3 corpses of some kind of dog or wolf behind them. And just as they get outside, kind of outside the main building that you're camped out in, one of them gets particularly boisterous with one of the other ones. Perhaps they said something that pissed it off or something. But one of these goblins smacks another goblin in the face, and these 2 goblins just fall on each other and start scrapping. Punch. Making quite a lot of noise as they do so, and then you hear a thud on the roof of the building. Not the roof, because that's kind of in the ceiling of the cavern, but on a building nearby, you hear a thud of something heavy landing on the stonework, and these goblins shut up, and you see they look up in the direction of where this noise has come from, and you can see just abject terror cross the faces of these creatures. The goblins who are carrying the slain dogs, they drop them. There's a soft thud of flesh on the ground, and you watch as these goblins scatter to the four winds, running in all directions. And as they start to run, you hear heavy sounds of something bounding on the rooftops. Getting quieter as it moves away into the darkness. Beyond that, your watch is uneventful.
Okay.
You all have, once again, a good night's rest. Dela, you wake up in the morning, you feel refreshed, you feel very much over whatever you had been suffering previously. So what do you all wish to do?
I'll explain to everybody what I saw.
Really need to go. Hopefully it will have gone and chased after the goblins and not come back.
Yeah.
So we should leave this
Hopefully.
place.
Any idea what it might have been?
You didn't see it this time,
I didn't
you just
see
heard it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It just leapt from rooftop to building. I could hear it.
It's leaping from the roof, so it's jumping.
Yes.
Is there a knowledge roll? Putting that with what Alwyn saw, is there a knowledge roll to try and determine what it was?
Sure. I will let you make another religion check. However, this is going to be quite... Actually, do you know what? I'm going to roll this one in secret for you, Alwyn.
Okay, yeah. I get plus 13 on my religion.
Sure, okay. There's something playing in the back of your mind, Alwyn, and especially having kind of seen this shadow, seen this creature sort of in shadow. You've seen the large bat-like ears. You've seen the piercing, sickeningly yellow eyes leering out at you from the darkness. Alwyn, you suspect this might be a creature known as a Barghest.
And what would I know about a Barghest? I know what Stu knows, but...
So, a Barghest, if indeed that's what this creature is, it's a kind of demon. They're classed as it's classed as a fiend. You know that they are loosely associated with goblin culture. Some goblin tribes revere them as gods or as deities. They are far from being gods, but they are dangerous creatures. They are ravenous. They feed and they grow fat on the flesh of mortals, and once they have eaten enough, they mutate and they become larger, they become stronger, they become more cruel, more ruthless. And with that realization, Alwyn, you get the sense that this creature has been and still is stalking your group.
We need to go. We really need to. I might be wrong, but if this thing is a Barghest, then that's a demon that eats people.
I don't want to be eaten.
No, I was just thinking the same.
We really need... Right, so when I think this is going to be vitally important. We need to move as a party. We need to have a specific marching order that we stick to, and somebody needs to be keeping a lookout on the rear.
Who do we think should take the rear?
I think because you and I, Amos, we're the people who can take the biggest hits. I think you and I should be front and rear. Do you want to take front or do you want to take rear?
I'll take the rear.
Okay. I'll be up front.
I'll back you up at the front.
Okay. We need to keep our friends who are not doing very well in a huddle in the middle. Christian and Marriage, you want to go either side of them, so we're creating a bubble around them.
We can do that. What I will say is, if that really is what you've just said, Alwyn, if we come to having to run, I don't know how fast we can make these people move.
If we run, they all die. I think it's really no more complicated than that.
All right,
Otto, will you stay in the middle with them and help protect them?
Yes, of course.
Indeed. So you pack up your sort of makeshift campsite as your you pack up your makeshift campsite as you've been holed up in this place for a couple of days. You step out into the street, and as a group you have the same choice as Otto had previously. Do you wish to take the left, the central, or the right position?
We took the central before.
Which one? So if we guesstimate that was it the northeast area?
You're more or less to. I mean, certainly the windmill, the bone grinder, was almost directly to the north. It was outside north. The northern wall.
Yeah. So
I was mistaken earlier when I said you were at the point of the heptagon. The heptagon is the other way around. So the cliff edge is kind of where the point would be.
Right. I don't know.
I think we go right.
Let's go right.
Let's go right.
Yeah. So you think
can't be wrong.
You think certainly if the geography down here matches that of above ground, taking the right-hand path will take you in perhaps a westerly direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right.
Yeah. Do we want to go west?
Yes, you do.
Does it matter as long as we can find a way up? That's the way we really need to go. Up.
Yes. But you walked for quite a long way in the middle one without finding an up.
Yes.
Do you think we could break into the? Is it a big castle?
Into what? Into the Palace of Whitethrone?
Yeah.
No.
From here?
When you arrived at Whitethrone, you saw that the castle wasn't really connected to the rest of the city at all. It was this island almost floating above the bay, connected to the city by what looked like a bridge sculpted entirely from ice.
Darn. Okay. Well, yeah, just anywhere up really is probably nice.
Have you considered? I'm just floating this as an idea. That going back through the bone grinder might be the way out.
How would we get the door open when the puzzle's on the other side?
You closed the door from this side. That was the thing you did.
But isn't that... Does the door open from this side? I mean, is the puzzle on the other side to keep people in? Does it open easily from outside?
I remember seeing a handle or anything like that. It seemed to just sort of slide shut, and that was it.
And we're all in better shape than when we left the bone grinder, so if it came to a fight, we would...
I don't think we're going to get in. That was a big, thick stone door.
Yeah, I think our way out.
It wasn't a stone door with the puzzle. It was the kind of icy energy field.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, you could try.
It was a thought.
I mean, we can go and investigate it, but with a devouring demon on our heels.
Yeah.
I think we're wasting time.
Let's go.
Would I be right in thinking that west is the opposite direction to the bone grinder?
No.
Sorry, turning right.
Turning right would take you. You think in a westerly direction, perhaps around the perimeter of the city. If you were to take the central route, that takes you. You think roughly south, which would take you away from the bone grinder.
Well, that seems to be the best way to go, but perhaps too dangerous.
Maybe we were just unlucky before when we ran into those.
But we could take on
But
an army.
here's the thing: with our friends in the middle here, we're not going to do this stealthily. We're not going to do this quietly. We're not going to be able to hide. If we do it, we just go in and we do it, and we face whatever comes out. Amos, you'll get to punch things.
Let's
go.
Right, come on, let's go.
Middle lane there.
Middle
lane.
lane.
Forward march. Oh,
Tracing your steps from the previous day. All right. So, as you make your way out of where you're camped, you continue sort of basically following Otto's footsteps that he'd taken the previous day. Your first hour of travel, sort of winding and weaving back through this dark, eerie underground city, is you find yourselves flinching at shadows, sort of jumping at the slightest creak of wood from a bit of a piece of a building settling, that kind of thing. You half expect at any second more of these skeletons to leap out and accost you, but none do. You pass the place where Clovis fell. You can see that his body is still there. So, and certainly this wasn't mentioned to Alwyn and Dela, but you see these three suits of sort of rusted and pitted plate mail armor, kind of scattered around Clovis. There is nothing inside them, but they all seem to have this strange insignia that you don't recognise. Looks like it was once perhaps a coat of arms or something, but it's been quite badly damaged. It's almost impossible to tell what it is, but from what you can make out, it's nothing you recognise.
Can we take Clovis's body?
Yeah, I think you probably could. So if someone's willing to carry him, they can.
he's only little.
One of our catatonic friends be able to carry him, perhaps?
No, they are incapable of that. it'll need to be probably Maori or Christian, if none of you are willing.
I mean, Alwyn will carry him if it comes to it. Not massive.
He's probably a little bit lighter now, considering the missing bits of flesh and blood.
I think with that comment, you've just volunteered to carry him.
Amos wasn't making that comment. That was me making that.
Was Darren.
Yeah, so we summoned Darren into this.
That's it.
A Christian can do it. Christian will do it.
Yeah, you
Don't
ask Christian.
expect much difference between me and Amos. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you ask Christian to do it. He'll pick up the body. Sort of slings him over his shoulder.
Oh. Be careful with that.
Yeah, don't hurt him.
Yeah, I just feel like he's like not really attached to himself anymore. So sort of a quick fling would just
So Dela, do halflings have any sort of special burial rites?
Oh yeah, so there's a dance that you need to learn.
Is it a 3-foot hole instead of a 6-foot hole?
You're not putting him in vertically.
We're not. Fucking leave him here then.
Or I don't know. Maybe that is the halfling funeral rite. You bury them standing up.
Head down, feet up.
Oh, that doesn't sound pleasant.
All right. But, you sort of gather Clovis. You take a second to pay your respects, and Christian gathers his body for you. And you continue on your journey. And as you're creeping your way through these streets, you all have the sense that you are being watched. You can feel the hairs on the back of your neck tingling. The shadows seem to flow behind you like a silent crowd, following your every footsteps. Whenever you turn around to look, there is nothing there. Until a short while later, as you're coming up to what looks to be a solid wall of the cavern ahead of you, you can see that there are buildings up against it, almost like a curtain of stone has been kind of dropped down, separating this part of the city from whatever lies beyond. You hear a growl. And you all glance around, and you see looming on one of the buildings above you this large, bat-eared, yellow-eyed creature. And as you look at it, all of you blink, and it vanishes. And then there is a thud behind you as something heavy slams into the stone, and you all turn to face it, and you see, towering over all of you, this monstrous-looking creature with sort of claws curling out of its hands. Its jaw splits open much wider than perhaps it would, and inside you see nothing but needle-sharp teeth. And it looks at all of you, and you see a tongue flick out and whip around its face. And that's where we're going to end for tonight, folks.
To arms! To arms!
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Nazar Ryback from hooksounds.com. Editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
is fun.
Can you bargain with a bar guest?
I mean, you could try.
I mean, you can try. I'm not going to be there for it.
Do they have testicles that can be used as punching bags?
It's just got better again.
Yes. Wow. Oh gosh. I don't know. I don't. Normally we like to do a bit after the credits, but I don't know what else to add to that.
Other than
We're all gonna die.
If this podcast had subtitles, it would just be terrified screaming.
In square brackets.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness. Blimey.
Well.
There we go, folks. Been an eventful few episodes.
Yeah.
It really has, isn't it?
I wonder if we'll survive.
Poor Clovis.